15 sunscreens reviewed in one video. 22 times cheaper than Elta MD. #1 best-selling sunscreen. Puts all the others into the shadow. I have toners. More liquid than this. Hey guys, it's John here again. It is time to talk about sunscreens. I'm excited because you know what they say, if you do any skincare but you don't wear sunscreen, every progress you make via a serum and moisturizer is being eliminated by not using UV protection. That's why sunscreen is so important. I went to the drugstore. I discovered this €5 sunscreen for 50 milliliters. I translated that to roughly $10 per 100 milliliter, which was for me like the framework. I wanted everything to be at that price point or lower. That means no La Roche-Posay Shaka fluid, no Beautiful Joseon, no Can Make. They're all too expensive. Next, the sunscreen rating. I only considered full label protection, which is SPF 50+, PA+++++. That means no Elta MD, no Nivea Japan sunscreen. Also origin, I wanted something Korean or Japanese because, and that is my last selection criteria, I wanted all of these to be available at Savannah or YesStyle. They're the biggest retailers online for K&J Beauty. So just to recap, within that framework, I bought all of them and I'm left with 15 candidates for the perfect sunscreen. Starting with the Kumano COSME Tone Up UV Milky Gel. I actually don't want to waste too much time on this because it's very easy. This is my least favorite. I loosely somewhat ranked and ordered all of the sunscreen from worst to best. This, as I said, is my least favorite. It's, just don't get this. This is like the one I can comfortably recommend to no one. In the video, you can see that it gives me a nice tone-up effect, but if you use it over a full face of skincare, in my case, it completely immediately pilled. It had an uneven coverage. It looked strokey and like white casty, and it's just not good. No, I don't want to recommend this to anyone. There are better ones out there, period. Another quick one, this is the SCINIC Enjoy All-Round Watery Sun Cream. I guess they do everything for SEO. Anyways, it's not about the names, it's about the sunscreen and how does it perform. This reminded me years ago when I was on vacation and I used this like Nivea sunscreen that's blue. It works, but it's kind of thick and it smells like sunscreen. It smells like weird overcrowded vacation and everyone's sweating. This isn't horrible, but it feels, while you wear it on your face, it feels kind of heavy. I mean, it's very well priced, but it doesn't perform too well. This isn't made by a popular Korean sunscreen manufacturer. This is made by someone else, and it shows kind of. It feels like, that's a good word, old-fashioned. Ooh! We're moving Super Moisture Barrier Gel and the names! Skin Aqua Super Moisture Barrier UV Essence and Gel. Super Moisture Barrier UV Essence. If you don't know, these have been reformulated and repackaged. The predecessor used to look like this. So this gel and essence was already advertised as very heavy duty. And so these are now advertised as even more heavy duty and more moisturizing. These are really good. When it comes to texture, I like to differentiate because for me, there's the texture that you have when you apply it on your face with your fingers. And then there's the texture that you feel while you wear the sunscreen over the course of the day. Gel, essence, I don't know. They feel almost the same. Maybe this is a tiny bit lighter upon wearing. However, I would recommend this before this because these are both roughly the same price, but this is a smaller packaging, so this is more bang for buck. So yeah, if I like these both very much, why are they so early in this list? Because they are reformulated, they're pretty new, and I was only able to get them on YesStyle, and so they actually are over budget. I still decided to include this because I feel like over time they're gonna be less expensive. However, the predecessor is very similar. If you can get this on a deal while it's like in clearance, I highly recommend this as well. Next up is the BIORÉ. Sorry. Next up is the BIORÉ UV Aqua Rich Watery Gel. So this is maybe also one where you're gonna want to get the sister product. It spreads nicely and it doesn't feel too heavy. However, this contains titanium oxide. This is this video's first hybrid sunscreen, and so it kind of could leave a tone-up effect. It did so when I tried it on, but if I use a lot of this, it starts becoming a bit patchy, blotchy, and strokey, white casty, and so it's not perfect for me. If you're not looking for a tone-up effect, avoid this, not because it's inherently bad, but because there are other ones that are better. Next up is the DERMA B Everyday Sunblock. This is a name I can remember better. So this is actually the only sunscreen I stumbled upon during research, but this one reminds me a bit of the SCINIC in that it's both Korean sunscreens that come in a huge bottle. They have both, unfortunately, like a sunscreen scent, and they both don't have that classic Kolmar elegance that you might associate with Korean sunscreens. This one also feels a tad bit lighter while wearing than this, which means... Skin Aqua UV Super Moisture Gel. When I first bought this, this was my favorite sunscreen. This feels very similar to this one, the Super Moisture Barrier blah 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 one, except that it's not advertised as heavy duty. This is apparently still water resistant, and this does have full label protection, but it feels not too much, but also this feels a little bit lighter upon application than this one. But while wearing, they both feel very similar. This is great for like fall or winter. This is less alcohol, I think, and you don't need as much heavy duty protection, I guess. But yeah, you could also make the point that while you're considering this, you might just go as well for this one. What can I say? This is already really, really good, but we're not at the end of this video. Okay, so this next one is the Skin Aqua again, Super Moisture UV Essence. This is actually the sister product. This to this is the same as this to this. Does that make sense? It's just that this range used to be white and gold and now it's white and blue, but it's the same formulation. Anyway, this is kind of the same story as this. It might be a tiny bit lighter than the gel, but it's also worse bang for buck. So I would recommend this over this, but also these over these. Okay, next up, another easy name. It's an easy name and I'm messing it up still. The VERDIO UV Moisture Gel. This is one of those nice Japanese value packagings, and it says waterproof, which is great. Waterproof is not like SPF and PA, it's like a marketing term. You have to always take the waterproof and water resistant with a grain of salt. This is surprisingly not like a gel, even though it's called gel. This feels like a milk. Do you see that? It's really nice and lightweight upon application, also while wearing. By the way, one pump is almost exactly 1 gram. If you're in a hurry, you can just do 2 pumps, face and neck, and you're done. What's unique about this one, this has your classic Japanese lightness, but it doesn't have alcohol, and it doesn't feel significantly more heavy. I also actually didn't know that this is a hybrid sunscreen because it's not super tone-uppy or white casty. What is there not to like about this? So this unfortunately has the risk of pilling, which doesn't look good, but it also doesn't perform good because it means uneven coverage. So it defeats the purpose of a sunscreen in the first place, which is why I don't fully love this. I don't hear a lot of other people say that it pills, but for me it pills. Next up, we've got the KOSÉ Suncut UV Perfect Gel. Another one that has waterproof claim on its packaging. And this one is, I feel like, actually a gel. It's like a slightly runny gel, and the texture upon application and while wearing is super light. You know, I feel like the main unique factor about this is the finish. This gives you like a slight satin finish. It almost feels like it's slightly water repellent. Again, I would have loved this if it weren't for that it pills again. This pills, and I've heard multiple people say that this pills. However, there is also the KOSÉ Suncut UV Perfect Essence. This is, upon application and wearing, lightweight. This feels dewy in terms of the finish, so not matte like this one. It's a super great all-rounder with the added benefit that it doesn't pill on my skin. So this is one of the ones that I could just recommend to anyone. It's just that this and this has been discontinued. Yeah, I found out about this only like a couple of weeks ago. They will probably still be around on Salvan and YesStyle for a couple of months. I want to try the reformulation of both, but especially of this one. Who knows, maybe this is exactly what I want with the added benefit that it doesn't pill. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Next up, this is a redemption for Kumano COSME, the Milky UV Gel. Yes, pricing is like a determining factor in so many things in our economically capitalistic life. In terms of price, this is the best. Hi, I forgot to mention the prices are... The prices are for EU style Vana within the past few months, the lowest that I saw, so they might be higher when you're shopping. If you want to get the best deals, you should always stop at Shalvan and also get the Instagram discount plus freebies because those are always good. Thank you, bye. This is by quite a bit the cheapest of them all. This is $4 for 100 milliliters. In America, people like the Ulta MD sunscreen, which is like $43-ish for not even 50 milliliters. This is 22 times cheaper than Ulta MD. Oh my goodness! Can you believe it? How do they do it? Like... Don't eat it. It's not just that this is cheap, this performs really well as well. This is called a gel, but this is more milky than the product that is advertised as milky. This is a tad bit more solid, a tiny bit more solid than this one. One full pump is roughly 2 grams, so if you're in a hurry, one pump, face and neck, you're done. The price advantage by far outweighs the tiny elegance disadvantage, which is why this is like the 3rd spot. Oh no, it's not the 3rd one. This is the 3rd to last one. This is the SCINIC Enjoy Super Mild Sun Essence. Another one that ticks all the boxes. This has a good price point. This claims water resistance, no fragrance, and it's no alcohol. It's Korean, which is more known for having no alcohol in comparison to Japan. It feels very lightweight while wearing. What can I say? This is amazing. I felt like this was always a great dupe for all your beloved Kolmar sunscreens, and I thought this was also made by Kolmar because of its similarity, but it's actually Cosmax. Because it's not Kolmar, I feel like in Korea, Kolmar has like this almost like Monopoly-esque standing. And I feel like maybe this being formulated by Cosmax, they're able to put the prices lower to compete with the more expensive Kolmar sunscreen. So yeah, this feels like a dupe for Kolmar. Really good for sensitive skin, what can I say? Really like this. Okay. Next up, BIORÉ UV Aqua Rich Essence. Yeah! This is Japan's #1 best-selling sunscreen and has been for years. It's been reformulated like a year ago. If you were to have only heard of one Japanese sunscreen ever, it's probably this one by BIORÉ because it's like the MVP. It also ticks all the boxes. Claimed waterproof, has an amazing price point, has alcohol for that lightness, really cosmetically elegant, and that's why it's so popular. I love it too. Upon application, this is kind of like a gel, but it spreads super easily. You can definitely smell the alcohol, but the scent, especially for summer, is really refreshing in my opinion. This is a great all-rounder. If you don't know where to start with Japanese sunscreens, try this one. You will most likely not be disappointed. Last but not least, this is the BIORÉ UV Aqua Rich Lotion. What's unique about this? It puts all the other sunscreens into the shadow when it comes to lightweightness upon application. This is so lightweight. This is advertised as a water toner-like sunscreen, and I have toners that are more viscous than this. Do you hear that? That's water-like. I'm an extremely sweaty person, not super oily, but sweaty. So this is my #1 pick for this video because I'm approaching summer. Rankings could change at any time because they're all so similar. Finish is, I would say, between dewy and matte. I feel like this grips onto your skin like no other sunscreen. There's like small pearls inside this. I don't know what it is, but the lightness and the lightweightness is just bumped up to the max. It's dripping like water. You should apply enough though. The runniness of this formula makes it very easy to underestimate the amount of product you're using. If you're unsure, you can always use like a digital scale because people often like to talk about the 2-finger rule. If you use 2 swipes of this, which can be very, very quick, this isn't gonna be 2 grams. Also, some of these others, if you make 2 thin swipes, it's not gonna be 2 grams. You're gonna wanna use like a generous swipe. So, I know this might be very overwhelming, so I'm not done. I just wanted to give you some input to kind of compare these sunscreens better. First, we have the finish graph. So as I said, there's none that is explicitly matte, but there is the Suncut gel and the BIORÉ lotion, which is semi-matte. There's the DERMA sunscreen, which is a bit more oily. All of the other ones is basically average, dewy, nice and dewy, dewy. Now I wanted to highlight the texture slash feel upon application, which you can see here right now, and then there's the feel while wearing. And as you can see, they're all at least comfortable. Some of them are very lightweight and comfortable, but even if you don't pick the top of this list, you will probably be happy. And last but not least, to put everything into perspective, there's the price graph, because even if you choose your one sunscreen, you're still gonna have to pay it, unless you steal it like me. I'm kidding. As you can see, the Kumano COSME is the clear winner, and then most of them are slightly behind it. There's the Skin Aqua Barrier Moisture, and then there's, you know, other sunscreens. And the Round Lab sunscreen didn't even make it to this graph because the graph is too small. If you were to ask me for the best matte sunscreen, it's the Suncut gel. Cheapest, no questions asked, it's the Kumano COSME. Best unfragranced is the SCINIC. Best one without alcohol is the SCINIC. Best for sensitive skin, SCINIC. Again, no alcohol, no fragrance, no essential oils. Then most courageous or original, I really love the Suncut gel because of its water repellency. Best waterproof sunscreen, as I said, we can only assume, but I would say really good is the SCINIC. The Suncut gel, even though it pills. The BIORÉ lotion because it grips onto your skin. My personal faves, as I said, could change all the time, but because I'm sweaty, I love the BIORÉ lotion. Whew, that was a lot. Now I just need to use them up. I still don't know how I'm gonna use up these. I'm gonna have to use them up to get my full money's worth and to not feel like an environmental polluter. If you disagree with anything in the methodology or the opinions of lightweightness or blah blah blah, you can write me down below. As I said, if you comment, subscribe, like this video, it is such a great help. Okay, so these 15 sunscreens reviewed in one video. I hope you liked it. I hope I was able to help you find the sunscreen that you like. Yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for the support, and thanks for the memories.